Okay, we are live. We're back in Satisfactory for another stream. Today's stream's going to be full of lots of activities with lots of different machines, and I'm sure the stream's going to work just fine and it's not going to have any problems whatsoever. Hey everyone, Editor Aaron here, and sorry this is my face, not gameplay. Already off to a great start. So today's stream video is going to be a little bit different than usual. Instead of just uploading the video recording like I usually do, I'm going to be doing a bit of a walkthrough and montage of the progress that was made on the last video. Why am I doing this? Well, streaming's been a bit of a learning curve, and I guess I'm just becoming a boomer. Yeah, I was playing in ultra wide and recording in 16:9. So if I did upload the footage, it was just going to be cropped gameplay for many hours. That would have not been great. So yeah, to make the best of it, here's a quick montage, and I'll see you back afterwards. Alright, so to begin, we're over here at the starter factory, which is kind of a weird place to be, considering we are in the middle of phase 3. But the reason we are doing that is because over here we built some train stations. Now we built the initial version of these train stations. I don't even want to say version. It was kind of literally just a temporary setup. But I tore a lot of it out and rebuilt more temporary solutions. So this area over here is the oil that comes from the canyon over in the distance, brings oil in, and then we are exporting it out of the train station into the fluid buffers and then pumping it up to this train station. Before, we were only doing this first water and one oil node, as well as 2 more cars for water. So we ended up hooking up the final 2 nodes. We were using impure nodes before to create our fuel, but now that we're starting to process plastics and rubber, needed more oil. So that's what we basically accounted for, was introducing these 2 cars and adding those cars to this train line to bring in from the canyon. So yeah, I'll move over to the canyon and show the progress over there. All right, so over here in the canyon, where there are 2 normal nodes and 2 impure nodes. Before, we did have a temporary train station right here, just grabbing the 2 impures, but needed to make more room for the 2 new cars. So I ended up moving it down here. This will also make room for whenever we actually go to build the train station proper, get it down out of this main working area. So I went ahead, moved it down here to the floor of the canyon, put in our really disgusting pipework and buffer system, just to make sure that the numbers add up correctly whenever it gets delivered to the main factory. So yeah, not a whole lot over here. We basically just tore a bunch of stuff out and built in a new train station that'll be out of the way whenever we do start work on like I said, the production over here for real. This floating block here is the height of the Megafactory. So it's the same height as the train station is off in the distance. So this is just basically a reference point to at least the train station exiting needs to be at least this high or at this level. But yeah, I think that's all that really needs to be said about this disgusting mess. All right, so we're back at the main Megafactory. Like I mentioned, over at the disgusting train stations, we ended up adding 2 more cars of oil to be delivered to the Megafactory. So that goes from this car and this car up into our water tower, or I guess it's an oil tower really, since it's oil, not water, where it drains down into these 2 buffers. It gets combined and then added to that buffer, and then it drains out. The lines then come over and basically just follow behind all of the foundation work over here, where they kind of just they split off. The majority of the oil, 270 oil per pipe, gets sent this way to all of our refineries off in the distance, while each pipe loses 30, and that gets sent to these 4 refineries right here. So these are making basically 20 plastic and 20 rubber apiece. And they're basically just getting stored into the dimensional depots. Just to make the numbers play nice, I just took 30 from each line and made those, and then that way I don't have any overflow from the main system. These guys here are from the previous setup, where it's just the excess byproduct coming from the diluted fuel and the fuel generators, and they're making petroleum coke and some rubber for future circuit boards, I believe it is. Yeah, so here's just an idea, or the look from the front, so you can just see things get combined and then they come out here. Right now everything is just getting synced until we start the electronics factory, which will be in the next stream or 2. If there's no technical problems. But anyway, so here is the main bulk of where the work happened. So we've got 4 refineries making plastic and 4 refineries making rubber. Those pipelines, like I mentioned, they come from the train, they come through here, and then each pipeline just gets 4. The products get put onto this merger manifold system, where 60 rubber and 120 plastic get split off from the main lines, and then they get sent over to these. Well, actually, they get sent to these 2 machines here and these 2 machines on the sides, where I think that uses recycled plastic and recycled rubber, if I remember correctly. Yeah, recycled rubber, recycled plastic. So those items get put into these machines using the fuel that's created in these 6 refineries here. So this is just taking the heavy oil residue from the 8 refineries up front, turning it into a little bit of fuel, and then that fuel just gets fed into the recycled recipes, where these are then joined back into the manifold line that the original 8 manifolds are feeding into, where eventually everything just, this gets split off, sent to those machines, and then because these are smart splitters, I'm not sending obviously rubber where the plastic should go. And since these are on fixed lines of 60 and 120, the numbers add up perfect, and they just get sent over here to an awesome sync. And I'm just double checking the numbers are working right. So we're making 180 plastic and 360 rubber per minute at the end of the day in this initial setup. So yeah, we basically did all the machines, all the piping on stream. And then after the stream ended and I figured out that there were a bunch of problems with the recorded video, I went ahead and started working on some fixes for the piping. So one of the things I ended up doing, which looks like I missed a foundation that I need to add back, is basically looping the pipelines together. So this one comes down feeds these four, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it connects here and goes through this floor hole. Actually, is just there cosmetically. This is actually just one long pipe that comes all the way over, and then the two pipes actually join together right in the back there, kind of underneath all the foundations. And so this one feeds its 4 refineries, and then, like I said, it just loops under. So at the end of the day, the pipes do connect to each other, and the numbers start evening out. So yeah, that is how all of that worked. That took me probably like 3 or 4 hours to figure out exactly what the problem was there. This is just the heavy oil residue byproduct coming from the rubber and plastic recipes. Those get combined and then sent up a pump right here to these guys. They were also having problems for whatever reason. It was weird. It was this machine here actually didn't want to get enough heavy oil residue. It was causing the other machines to back up. So the numbers are perfect. Everything works correct now. But I ended up redoing this a couple different ways. Ended up doing it this joint vertical alignment kind of way of doing things, and then just circled this pipe back in on itself, and this actually fixed it. This is the first thing that worked, and once I saw that this worked, that's whenever I started playing around with the looping of the heavy oil residue, or the crude oil pipelines. So yeah, that is the recap of what we did. And like I said, in between streams, I went in and added a bunch of catwalk just kind of while I was waiting for the pipelines to fill back up and make sure everything was running probably for about an hour up at 100%. And everything is at 100%. So yeah, catwalks, added in kind of these like light pole scaffolding systems, just so that there is light on this side of the factory. If we go ahead and make it, nighttime or something, everything is lit up mostly, and yeah, follows the theme that you can basically, if you're on a catwalk, you should be able to get to each of the machines easily and be able to see the stats and everything. So everything's good there. Yeah, so that is the recap. So that's the recap of the last stream. Pretty much a bunch of refineries and questionable pipe routing ideas. And then also a train station that looks like something a toddler would put together. Thankfully, it will be temporary, and I'll end up tearing it out and building something proper here in the near future. But do let me know down in the comments if you like the idea of these recap videos, something short and snappy, instead of a 5-hour snooze fest of me going, and building catwalks while I try to figure out what I'm actually trying to do. Or just roast me for my boomer-like technical abilities. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one, unless I forget to hit the record button.